The One Mic with Big Mike show starts in 5 minutes. Follow the show on Spreaker.com or the Spreaker app and be a part of the show via the live interactive chat room. You can text your thoughts to 404-902-8104. Check out the Facebook live stream at facebook.com/OneMicWithBigMike. The One Mic with Big Mike show starts in 4 minutes. Follow the show on Spreaker.com or the Spreaker app and be a part of the show via the live interactive chat room. You can text your thoughts to 404-902-8104. Check out the Facebook live stream at facebook.com/OneMicWithBigMike. The One Mic with Big Mike show starts in 3 minutes. Follow the show on Spreaker.com or the Spreaker app and be a part of the show via the live interactive chat room. You can text your thoughts to 404-902-8104. Check out the Facebook live stream at facebook.com/OneMicWithBigMike. The One Mic with Big Mike show starts in 2 minutes. Follow the show on Spreaker.com or the Spreaker app and be a part of the show via the live interactive chat room. You can text your thoughts to 404-902-8104. Check out the Facebook live stream at facebook.com/OneMicWithBigMike. The One Mic with Big Mike show starts in 1 minute. The One Mic with Big Mike show starts in 30 seconds. The One Mic with Big Mike show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
One mic.
I'm back.
It's the One Mic with Big Mike show. Live.
There ain't no goddamn tape.
Interactive and on demand. One Mic. Yeah, a sports show.
The best move of LeBron's career, man, was dragging his sweaty ball sack right across Draymond Green's the nape of his neck and getting that dude suspended.
And so much more.
What's going on right now with Donald Trump? This is America, and it tickles me to death when white people are so shocked and appalled by it.
What? It's the One Mic with Big Mike show.
Of course, it's like anything, like ammonia or you sniffing glue is gonna get you high.
You've been warned. The One Mic with Big Mike show starts now. Here he is.
He's real cocky, he's real loudmouth, he's real flamboyant. He don't cow down to people.
Big Mike.
Your San Francisco quarterback, I'm sure nobody ever heard of him. I'm just reporting the news. There was an article today. I love to report the news, and then they said I made a mistake, right? I said, no, the people reporting the news made a mistake if it's wrong. But there was an article today, it's reported, that NFL owners don't want to pick him up because they don't want to get a nasty tweet from Donald Trump. Do you believe that?
Well, that was in March. That happened in March. So it wasn't the first time some of y'all president decided he wanted to jump into the sports arena and criticize people for protesting racial injustice, and in particular Colin Kaepernick. And you know what you heard after he said that by any of the NFL owners, players, any of these people? Crickets. But now all of a sudden, he calls these guys sons of bitches. Now it's time to riot. It's time to ride. You know what I mean? And get out of here, man. Like I hope some of this emotion has settled down, man, and people can start looking at this thing objectively and calling it for what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? This thing has kind of jumped the shark. You know what I mean? Because if it takes Donald Trump, you know what I mean, to get people to see, you know what I mean, what's been happening in this country as it relates to race relations between the police and black people, brown people, we already got a problem. Feel me? This is the One Mic with Big Mike show. I, of course, am your host, Big Mike. The show is being heard live right now on Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app, TuneIn, and, of course, the website, onemicwithbigmike.com. I'm also streaming live video on my Facebook page at the number one, MICWITHBIGMIKE. You can also follow me with that same handle on Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to be a part of the show. And I do advise that you come on in, holler at your boy, man. Participate. Text me at 404-902-8104. That's 404-902-8104. You can also leave your comments and questions below the live streaming video here on Facebook. Or you can jump inside my live interactive chat room that I got set up on Spreaker. Go to Spreaker.com, man. Sign up for your free Spreaker account. Search for my show, One Mic with Big Mike. And then when you start listening, just click on that little thought bubble icon. You know what I mean? If you're already listening, just click on that little thought bubble icon. It'll get you up inside the live interactive chat room. We got some talking to do today, man. We got a lot to flesh out a little bit. And I want to try to give you guys some look. I mean, I don't know, man. It's maybe a little different perspective on what's been going on, in the world over the weekend. I hadn't spoken to you guys since last Wednesday. Got my new cable, internet popping, the AT&T situation. It's cool. It's a little bit different than Comcast. It's not as first of all, it's not as expensive, one. And then two, it's not as technically gadgety and bells and whistly, but I'm getting used to it. The internet speed is cool. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys can hear me well and everything's coming across good on you guys' end. But yeah. Well, let me finish setting up the show. At the bottom of the hour, I got former NFL quarterback, former Oregon University great, third overall pick in 1999 by the Bengals. My man, Akili Smith, he agreed to join the show tonight. We're going to talk about all this stuff with him, man. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about being a black quarterback, being a young quarterback. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff with him in about a 20, 25-minute time frame, man. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Tell your friends that's coming up at the bottom of the hour. At the top of the next hour, I'll take you guys back like I do every show in history and give you guys some historical factoids, some things that happened on this particular day in sports with my feature on this day. We'll also talk about, what's going on, some of the movement that's going on in the NBA. Had a nice weekend of on-the-field football, college and pro. So we'll try to get to that as well as the show moves on. But of course, first and foremost, man, we gotta talk about the orange elephant in the room. You know what I'm saying? Your man, Agent Orange. You know what I'm saying? Decided he wanted to, step up in a hillbilly rally the other day. And for whatever reason, invoke the name of not the name, but I guess the spirit of Colin Kaepernick, the NFL players who have chosen to protest racial inequality in this country by either taking a knee, either sitting down during the national anthem, or raising a fist. I don't consider that locking arms thing a thing, really. I don't. Like, that's like the bottom rung of, like, it's when you ask, like, what is the least that I can do in this situation? All right, let me do one step above that. It would just lock arms. Yeah, whatever, man. I don't consider that anything. If you missed it, if you've been living under a rock somewhere, here's what your man had to say. Here's how it all went down. This is the thing, this is the spark that set the flames off.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired. Some owner's going to do that. He's going to say, that guy that disrespects our flag, he's fired.
He's fired.
And that owner, they don't know it. They don't know it. They're friends of mine, many of them.
Yeah, they are.
They don't know. They'll be the most popular person for a week. They'll be the most popular person in this country. Because that's a total disrespect of our heritage. That's a total disrespect of everything that we stand for. I know.
Who the hell is this hour and the we he speaks of? Is it like a racist mouse in his pocket? Is that what's happening? Because, like, that notion to me, and the way, just me as a human being, man, I don't love things that don't love me back. I don't respect things that don't respect me. And, excuse me, America fits so neatly into both of those categories. You know what I'm saying? Like, this country ain't never had no love for me and anybody who look like me. Yeah, there are people who are successful in America that are black, of course, right? But over time, that was just, like, it just happened to average out that way. It was bound to happen at some point in the history of this country. But let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But Kanye said it best, even in the Benz, you still an N-word in a coupe. You know what I'm saying? It's not, there ain't a whole lot that has changed when it comes to the attitude of this country towards black people, brown, anybody who's not pretty much white and male. You feel me? So this whole our country and our heritage and we and us, look, dude, just like that song and just like that flag, it don't pertain to me. None of what you're talking about pertains to me. It didn't when it was created. And you can try to give me that whole, well, it's morphed into what the country could possibly be. Yeah, whatever. After hundreds of years, it's just like anybody, just like a human being. Yeah, you kind of just are what you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you Donald Trump and you 70-something years old and you're racist and you're xenophobic and you're homophobic and you're transphobic and you're all these things, that's pretty much what you're going to be. So these people who every time, too, by the way, every time you MFers, I'm so shocked. Why? It's a dog and it's barking. That's what it does. But apparently, like, amnesia is a thing. Like, we don't even remember. Like, you just waiting on the next week that he does something stupid to be like, oh my God, I can't believe the president did this. I believe everything. Everything. There is no fake news when it comes to, even if it is. The million examples of things that should have been fake news. A dude running for president is on the bus, is caught on tape on the bus saying that he just walks up to women and grab them by the pussy, and it's cool, and that's what he does, and he knows he can do it because of who he is. When that doesn't sink you, not to mention all the other stuff he said about, Chicago, the stuff he said about black people, the stuff he said about Hispanic people, not to mention all those things. But when that don't do it, everything's on the table, man. Every single thing is on the table. So now when my man comes out and says that a bunch of football players should be fired for being American, that's it. You know what I mean? In a nutshell, that's what we're talking about. You're American. You're taking advantage of an American right, what's supposed to be an American right. But because I don't like it, you should be fired. That's pretty much what I consider to be a pervasive American attitude. Pervasive white American attitude. Then, if that wasn't enough, the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, the current champions of the NBA, were asked about them visiting the White House. Right now, they're mostly Negroes. And when the leader of the team, Steph Curry, was asked, he said, "You know what? When we vote on it, because that was their plan, we're going to vote on it." He said, "I'm going to vote. Nah, I'm not going up there to hang out with that dude." Like, this dude been playing golf with Obama, you know what I'm saying? Hollering at the real Prez, up in there chilling with Mrs., the real FLOTUS. Like, how you take that downgrade to go and be skinning and grinning? And it's not, the other thing we got to understand too, it's not a football team. It's not those 60, 70 of these dudes going up into the White House, where you can just kind of like maybe hide a little bit, take in the experience, you know what I'm saying, and just like bounce when it's over with, you know what I'm saying? There's a basketball team, it's 12 cats, and their coaches and whatnot, yeah. But, and especially if you Steph, if you, and this is a team full of stars. You got Steph, you got Draymond, you got Clay, you got KD. You got a team full of stars, so it's going to be all about the optics and the photo ops and all these kind of things. Man, I'm the first person to say, man, when it comes to like uncomfortable ass situations, if you don't have to be in them, don't. Ride that thing out, man. It ain't that big a deal. Like your man comes up talking about something, it's an honor to be here. And yeah, I'm glad LeBron came out. LeBron called this dude a bum. He said, yeah, it used to be an honor until your ass got here. Because what it ends up being is not even about your philosophical differences when it comes to politics. You know what I'm saying? You're a Republican, I'm a Democrat, you're independent, you're a green, whatever the other things are. It don't even come back to that at all. It comes down to the man that's sitting there hates your black skin. He's a racist. Why would I want to go hang out with him? It's like somebody inviting me to a Klan rally. Why? Then I saw this article this weekend. He's got the most male-dominated staff in the last 25 years of presidents. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's including the fact he got his daughter on payroll. Or not payroll, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know, dude. It's just way too much. You know what I mean? This dude is an idiot. And nobody wanted to mess with him, except, of course, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the hockey team was like, yep, let's ride that. We'll come see you. We'll come see you, Donald Trump. And all these people, you know what I'm saying? I heard last night on the Sunday night football game, they said Vernon Davis was like, he loved to go to the White House and hang out with Trump and talk to him and have a conversation with him about the racial injustice stuff. Why? You might as well just pull up at your crib and start talking to the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, who you gonna change? Who mind you gonna change, B? This dude already said that you should just be grateful to be in your position. Because in white America, that's what it is. If you're black and you're able to make a little bit of money, you're welcome. You know what I mean? That's the attitude. You're welcome. Come on, man. I took a bunch of notes for the day because I didn't want to just start rambling, and I'm already doing it. But the question, I guess the main question for the day, and I want you guys to chime in on this, even if you're listening to the show on demand. You can still text me, 404-902-8104, because this is not going away anytime soon. I'll be back on Wednesday, you know what I mean? So 404-902-8104, or you can hit me on Twitter, Instagram. The Facebook live stream is still pumping at the number one MICWITHBIGMIKE, or jump on inside my live interactive chat room here on Spreaker, SPREAKER.com, or download the Spreaker app. You can do the same thing from there, or my website, one mic with bigmike.com. The question is, why did it take him? Why did it take Donald Trump for, I guess they counted like 200 cats to take knees over the weekend in the NFL? One cat in Major League Baseball, rookie catcher for the A's. So shout out to him for that. Do I have his name written down? Because I'm so terrible with names. I should have. Bruce Maxwell. Shout out to Bruce Maxwell for him. Also, man, big up the ladies of the WNBA. I don't watch no WNBA basketball, but it's definitely not out of disrespect to the women. I just don't find it entertaining. You know what I'm saying? When I can watch LeBron and KD and Steph and Russ and them cats do big work the way they do it, it just don't get it don't go down. Like, I'm not a fundamentalist when it comes to my basketball. I love buckets and I love dunks and threes, and I love like the most ratchet stuff that can happen in basketball. The WNBA game is a much more fundamental game. I don't watch it, but every time there's a social issue, man, them ladies, man, they don't do no cowering down. You know what I'm saying? They out there and they ready to rock with their T-shirts, with their protests, with they stayed in the locker room this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? Some of these dudes, man, need to understand, man, that it's okay. It's okay to understand your worth, man. And understand this too. The WNBA is a money losing venture for the NBA. They don't make no money off that. You know what I'm saying? So if things went awry and they were to be like, you know what, we're going to shut this thing down, they could do that. I mean, they catch backlash, of course, but from a very, very, very small percentage of the population. Because, like I said, it doesn't make money. It's there as a, equal opportunity type situation. And because there's some talented women basketball players, and they shouldn't have to go to Germany. A lot of them still do. But they shouldn't have to go to Germany and China to play basketball when this is America. You know what I mean? But as far as being a money-making business venture, it's just not that for the NBA. But shout out to them, man. Shout out to them for them. So, yeah, that's my question, man. Like, why does it take Donald Trump? I got a couple of different reasons. I got a couple of different answers to that question. Because I find it hard to believe that these same cats that all of a sudden found their way down to the ground this weekend, they didn't see what happened to Tamir Rice or Walter Scott or Philando Castile, Michael Brown. These things was videoed, man. You ain't like that didn't bring the activist out of you, but this clown ass dude in the White House calling you some sons of bitches, because that's what it boils down to. This ain't about equal treatment. This is about you feeling offended all of a sudden. He called you some sons of bitches, and now it's like, wait a minute, you can't call me names because you're children. Last year, man, Colin Kaepernick took a lot of heat, man. Him, Brandon Marshall, Eric Reed, these cats took a lot of heat, man. Death threats and all this kind of stuff, man. And folks just turned around, turned to look the other way, like it wasn't nothing to see. But now all of a sudden, this cat calls you a name, and then it becomes about protecting the shield. The owners start talking like these real ambiguous statements about, oh, he's being divisive. Oh, our players aren't this and that and the other. First of all, let me say this. It's the NFL. There are some sons of bitches in the NFL. Maybe not about this, but come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like we're talking about an entire group of philanthropic, community uplifting young men. No, we're not. It may just not fit in this aspect. So when Jim Caldwell said none of these guys are sons of bitches, yeah, they are. Yeah, gotta be. I mean, just by the law of averages, they're there. Then you got people who was on, like, who I'm going to say were the owners. My man, shout out to my man Day, man. My man Damian Lewis over there at Boom 90. God, what's that radio station here in Atlanta? My man Day, man. Day was like, he like Donald Trump gonna be getting some calls from his owner friends. And I'm like, for what? Why is it so easy for y'all to believe things only because they fit into the narrative that you want them to fit into? You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody says, these owners start saying like, oh, you know, we're standing with our players and all this. You believe their public statements and ignore their private actions. Because as I see it, Geno Smith is still playing football. The Miami Dolphins, they went and got Jay Cutler, which, you know, okay, I mentioned before that you can make some sort of link between Jay Cutler and Adam Gase. But the fact that if they didn't get Jay Cutler, the names that came up were Christian Ponder, feel me, and Tim Tebow, but not Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? The Ravens went out and got themselves a Arena Football League dude. What's the other kid's name? What was the other kid's name that hadn't played in the league in like 2 years that got signed? Like, so while y'all can sit up here and believe these cats, oh no, Donald Trump can't say that about it. Look, it wasn't a problem. I played the clip to open the show. It wasn't a problem when he was talking about the owners being scared of getting a tweet from him. It wasn't a problem then. It became a problem for Roger Goodell and the money makers when, guess what, your man was like, stop going to the games. Stop tuning in. When he started issuing actual directives for people to not put their money on the product, that's when these owners like, wait a minute, I guess we probably got to say something now. You know what I mean? And he know the deal, because even after his man, $100,000, Bob Kraft. I don't believe in that divisive talk. This whole word too, that's like the new buzzword. Anyway, after Bob Kraft spoke, he's like, well, you know, whatever. That's my man. He gave me a Super Bowl ring or whatnot. He's still my man, because he know as long as they keep the money flowing, he don't care. They don't care. This whole thing will blow over soon enough, and the NFL will still be the NFL. This is why I continue to ask this question. With all the, you know, we're going to boycott the NFL. And stop watching. To what end? Because for a lot of y'all, it was like, I'm not watching until Colin Kaepernick gets a gig. You think with all this going on, that dude is getting hired by the NFL ever again? The answer would be hell no. So for those people, I'll say again, I guess you're done watching football forever. Not. And then the other people who was like, you know, we gotta make a stand. Let me tell you about the stand you're making, man. Because I looked this up today, and I wanted to be sure about what I thought was the case. The demographic breakdown of the fan, the NFL fan, is pretty simple. You're talking about 70%. A little bit over 70% of the players being black, African Americans, right? Now, we're only 6% of the population. Black men, we're 6% of the population. Now, the NFL fan base, 83% white. 83! And 64% male. You know what that means? The NFL doesn't care about you. And they never have. This is why what blows my mind. This thing with Colin Kaepernick, what is different about the NFL? You think before Colin Kaepernick, they cared about these black cats on the field, or the black cats in the streets that's getting beat up by the police and shot by the police? You thought they cared before? Nothing has changed. Colin Kaepernick is just a symbol. These are the same old white men who have owned these teams since we were kids. I'm 40 years old. Jerry Jones became an owner of the Dallas Cowboys, I think, in 1978 when I was 1. Am I saying that, or was it in the 80s? I'm sorry. It may have been in the 80s. right before the Jimmy Johnson era. Right. It was 80, like 85? Somewhere around there when he fired Tom Landry. I was a kid. I was a child. And he's still the owner now as I sit here as a grown-ass man. So what do you think the NFL has always been? If you're protesting now, why weren't you 5 years ago? Why weren't you 10 years ago? It's the same thing. But, I guess to each his own. But I'm going to tell you like this. You're not making a difference. I'm not telling you to watch football. No, I don't care if you do or not. You know what I'm saying? I will say this, though. Like, that whole thing, like, you might as well be a slave, or you're a coon if you're watching football, or you're a sellout if you're watching football. Kiss my black ass. You know what I'm saying? Kiss my ass with that foolish, dumb stuff. But again, like, and it goes back to that whole talk of, like, solidarity and all this. There ain't no damn solidarity in none of this stuff. In none of this, there is no solidarity, man. These cats can't even get the protest right. Are you sitting? Are you kneeling? Are you raising the fist? Are you locking arms? Are you kissing your coach on the mouth? Which one are you doing? No damn solidarity, man. Everybody's just trying to do the thing that's easiest for them. A lot of people reacting out of emotion. Shout out to my man, I Am No Dose. He's in the chat room. Go ahead and join him, man. Click that little thought bubble icon you see on the streaming player. You'll be up in here with us, man. He said he's done watching football. No power to you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like football's not a necessity. It's not a necessity in life. It's not air or water. You know what I'm saying? It's a luxury. And there's plenty of people who don't watch football. Like the thing I think as football fans we assume is that everybody's in the pool with us. No, there's plenty of people who don't watch football, man. For a gamut of reasons, and the reason is starting to pile up for the NFL. You know what I'm saying? There's the domestic abuse thing. There's the CTE thing. There's the performance enhancer thing. There's plenty of reasons that people don't watch football. The violence in the game, the protests on both sides. Now, you know what I mean? Like that's the other thing that's the irony that's come out of this whole weekend now. Because people like I Am No Dose, no more watching football. But now your president, or probably not yours, but because I know this cat, the orange ghoul in the White House is saying don't watch football. So who's winning? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll say this again, based on the numbers I just gave you, the NFL has way more reason to be fearful of that whatever 40% approval rating he has with that 83% of white American males, or 64% of white American males who do watch football, than your little 6%. You know what I mean? Real talk. Not 6%. I don't have the breakdown of the last 17% of NFL fans are white. 83%. So there's 70%, 17% to include the Hispanics, the blacks, the Asians. Everybody else fits into that other 17%. So whatever percentages of that we have of that 17, the NFL is not worried about that, man. Hashtag too big to fail. You know what I mean? Coming up in a couple minutes, man. The homie Akili Smith, former Oregon Duck quarterback, former third overall pick in 99, man. Damn, that was so long ago. I was in college myself, 99, by the Bengals, man. He's got a story, man. He's one of the people, man, that so many times the term bust comes up. People use that word so frequently and so often. And the older I get, man, I try to slide away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember having arguments about guys like Greg Oden. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, B, if Greg Oden's a bust, we were talking about this the other day about Reggie Bush. About Reggie Bush being a bust. I was like, I wish I would bust at something in life the way Reggie Bush has. Because all we're talking about is your expectations for what somebody should have been. That's all it is. And when you start talking about the NFL and where people get drafted and things of that nature, that's the thing that these players don't have control over. Like Reggie Bush don't have control over how high he was drafted, nor Vince Young, nor any of these other cats that didn't quite work out. All right, we got Akili on the line. Let me tell you, I'm going to take a break real quick, holler at him off air real quick, and then I'll come back with Akili Smith, man, former Oregon quarterback, third overall pick by the Bengals in 99. We're going to talk about all this stuff from over the weekend, talk about black quarterbacks, talk about some stuff that was said a couple of weeks ago about Lamar Jackson playing wide receiver in the NFL. That's awesome. And we'll do it next, man. This is the One Mic with Big Mike show here live on Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app. Tune in, and, of course, the One Mic with Big Mike.com website.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff.
Hey,
but
good,
still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
And now, back to One Mic
What are we waiting for? Let's get to it.
with Big Mike.
Yes, sir. Back on a Monday here on the One Mic with Big Mike show. We in here, man. Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app. Tune in, and, of course, One Mic with Big Mike.com. And if you don't get a chance to stick around for the entire show, don't forget you can catch it on demand on all 4 of those outlets, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. I got the Facebook live stream pumping right now, so you guys can head on over to Facebook at One Mic with Big Mike and check me out there. But now, as promised, we're going to head on out to the phone lines. We're going to welcome in former Oregon Duck quarterback. He's the 3rd overall pick in 99 by the Bengals. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram, at Akili_Smith. Y'all give it up one time. Akili Smith, y'all.
How you doing?
I'm good, brother. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Sitting here watching Monday Night Countdown, getting ready to go to my son's practice.
No doubt, man. So yeah, little active weekend in the sports world. I want to start there, man. I want to start with, because that's what I was talking about before I had you on, talking about all this stuff going on. Donald Trump comes out, calls the NFL players some sons of bitches, and says they should be fired if they protest police brutality and racial injustice in America. I'm just gonna lay the blanket over you, man. Just what were your thoughts as far as
it was absolutely ridiculous.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I thought you were done. It's absolutely ridiculous what Trump is talking about. You know, it's embarrassing that he's the leader of our country right now. He has no business even mentioning anything about that when Puerto Rico is struggling. Houston is struggling. You know, we got problems with different countries and things of that nature, and you're worried about the NFL protests. You're worried about Stephen Curry, and it's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing time right now here in America.
Your man is an imbecile, man. He's a total buffoon of an idiot. Here's what I said earlier in the show, though, and the question I asked was, why did it take this weekend over 200 people to find their moral compass, or 200 players to find their moral compass? Like, I saw the video of Philando Castile. I saw the cat in South Carolina get shot in the back running away. I saw all these cats getting murdered by the police. But it took this idiot, who everyone knows is an idiot, calling these players names for them to finally, say, okay, now that's the line I'm going to draw. I don't know how to feel about that, man, and I want to know how you feel about that.
And in the beginning, it started off as Kaepernick protesting the injustices, and it had nothing to do with the flag.
Right, exactly, nothing.
He just chose that time to do it because obviously everybody is still, and he felt like that was the best opportunity to draw attention to what's going on. But people started to make it out about the flag, and that's not even what he was protesting.
Well, that's because idiots run this country. Idiots are pervasive in this country, and people who are cowards and don't want to address actual issues. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier for somebody to say, but what about the troops? Well, what about, patriotism? But at the same time, if you're willing to defend a piece of cloth in a racist ass song before you defend a human life, I don't got nothing to say to you. If that's your defense to that, I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? Because all you're doing is deflecting, even to the point where Colin Kaepernick said that this flag, this song isn't showing me any respect. Why should I show it any? But
exactly
when you give idiots a platform, that's what happens. Okay, so we can kind of move off of that for a second here. I just wanted to, since that's the fresh thing, I wanted to make sure I gave you the opportunity, to speak on that. Especially being a guy who's familiar with the NFL locker rooms and familiar with, dealing with owners and things of that nature. By the way, he is Akili Smith. He's a former Oregon Duck quarterback. He's a 3rd overall pick from the Bengals in '99. At Akili_Smith, AKILI_Smith, on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, tell me about the name, man, because when you commented on my post on Facebook, I'm coming at you like, hey, man, I saw your description that you work with a foundation with your name on it, but your name, like Akili Smith, isn't the name that's on your Facebook. So I'm like, do you know Akili Smith? You like, I am Akili Smith. So tell me the story.
Yeah.
So tell me the story behind the whole name thing.
Well, when I was born, my dad actually went into a Swahili dictionary, and he looked up my name. My full name is Kabisa Akili Maradufu Smith Bay.
No doubt.
So a lot of people didn't know that, so I had to put it on my Facebook page just to let people know what my full name was and is, and it cleared up a lot of things for me.
What does that mean? I'm sure it means something. If your dad went through all that trouble to find it, what does it mean?
Yeah, it means power, creativity, twofold. There's a bunch of things that it means all on my Facebook page, all on my Instagram page. If anybody want to go check it out, I could definitely pull it up and let everybody know exactly what it means. But I'm happy that my dad gave me that name because it's different. And when I was a kid, it's funny, bro. When I was a kid, I used to cry all the time because people used to make fun of my name. But now I'm extremely happy and proud of my name, and my son shares the same name as I do. No doubt, man. Shout out to Dad, man.
So talking about the Facebook post, it was a post about Bill Polian. Bill Polian saying that Lamar Jackson, the Heisman Trophy winner from last year, doesn't even belong in the conversation with the other college football quarterbacks, and he'll probably do better playing wide receiver in the NFL. So my post was, this kind of stuff used to be just common thing. You black, you play quarterback in college, you better get used to backpedaling or running routes or lining up in the backfield when you get to the NFL. And the reaction from white folks was awesome. It was so awesome. I was called a racist and a race baiter, and idiot white boys was talking about, I see you not talking about why there ain't more white wide receivers. And I was like, okay, you show me the white Julio Jones that somebody is making play quarterback, and we'll talk about it. That's not happening. But you spoke to it, and I thought that was a good chance to have you on the show, because you were a guy who went through your career. Your dad taught you the quarterbacking game. You went to junior college, then you went to Oregon, and became the third overall pick in the draft. But at any time did that come up with you? Somebody possibly asked you to change position?
Yeah, it definitely came up in high school when it came down to the school, my neighboring school in the community in Southeast San Diego. They wanted me to come in and play receiver or DB, but my dad's school that he went to in Southeast San Diego, they told me that I would get an opportunity to play quarterback, and that's what my dad ended up doing. And right now, as it stands today, if we were to count how many Asiatic quarterbacks, I say Asiatic, and I don't like to use the word black, but that's that's a different story.
True.
In the NFL, we probably have, maybe 12 max? So it's a serious issue that we're dealing with, because you have a lot of people that think that we can't handle the position mentally, and that's just not fair.
And that's what these white boys didn't understand. Like, it's not just a matter of what's happening, the Lamar Jackson comment. It's the history behind it. The whole thing about going back into the history of NFL football, where we can do, black folks, you can play football, but you're not going to play that middle linebacker. You're not going to do that. And you damn sure ain't finna play this quarterback position, because guess what? You're not smart enough to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to be extraordinary. Like Doug Williams has to win a Super Bowl, you know what I mean? For people to be like, all right, I guess it's cool. But then you still have a situation where, even now in 2017, you have to be a certain kind of black quarterback. And I hate doing that. I hate saying a black quarterback, because it's 2017. You should just be a quarterback. You dig what I'm saying? But you got to be Russell Wilson. You got to be Cam Newton, the clean cut. Even remember when Cam Newton got drafted, the owner, right? He was like, yep, no tattoos, no earrings. We're going to keep it that way. It's like, hold on, bruh. What does that have to do with him being able to throw the football? So if you coming in there,
nothing to do with him. Football.
Imagine an NFL where the quarterbacks look like Colin Kaepernick. Because you remember when he got the start, there was a big deal about them tattoos, boy, until people found out they were Bible verses and whatnot. But it was a big, he can't play quarterback and be a leader looking like that. Really? Why? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I thank God for, here's the underlining issue, one of the underlining issues in my opinion. The Rooney Rule, okay? The Rooney Rule was put in place just for brothers and Asiatic coaches to have an opportunity to coach and interview and things of that nature.
Right.
But right now, as it stands, the majority of the offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches in the NFL are European.
Yep.
So if the quarterbacks coaches and the offensive coordinators are European, then naturally, well, guess who they're going to want to have that position? And it is a serious problem. McNabb was ran out the league. Vic was ran out the league. Vince Young was ran out the league. Dante Culpepper was ran out of the league. RG3's ran out of the league. Cap still doesn't have the job.
Right.
Even at that time, okay, I wasn't playing well. I agree with that. But there's no way you couldn't tell me that I couldn't be a backup to 32 teams in the NFL. I don't believe that, and I will never believe that. So it's a serious issue, and there is some racism definitely involved with the quarterback position in the NFL.
Man, yeah. He's former Oregon quarterback, third overall pick in 1999. Man, it's been that long, man. Akili Smith joining the One Mike with Big Mike show at Akili_Smith on Instagram and Twitter. I want to take you back there, man. I want to go back to 99 with you, man. You had an amazing, came out of junior college, had an okay first season at Oregon, then had this explosion in your senior season. And then the Bengals decided to take you third overall. I remember that time because I was about to come out of college then. I had a couple buddies that came out that year and the year after I went to the league. And the Bengals organization was a crap storm, dude. It was like cats did not, like people's agents did not want to go into the Bengals because of the disarray that organization was in. Now, you get drafted third overall. Other than the joy that you felt knowing that you about to be rich as hell, what else is going through your mind at that time?
At that time, I was so confident as a quarterback coming out of Oregon. I thought I could get things changed over. But when I got in there and got to the inner workings of exactly what was going on with the Bengals, at that time, it was no hope prior to Marvin Lewis.
Word.
We're talking about an organization. We're talking about an organization that had the top players every single year: Big Daddy Wilkinson, Kijana Carter, Dave Klingler, every single year, and all of those players are a bust. So the true issue is, if you're getting top picks every single year and those players are a bust, when do you look at the organization and say, hold on, wait a minute, maybe this organization is a bust and maybe it's not the players? And I'm still kind of fighting that today. And to be honest with you, the biggest thing that the biggest issue that I had was just off the field, the partying and stuff like that. But even if I wasn't partying and being right in the off season, I still don't think the organization could have got turned around at that time.
So was that like the biggest challenge for not just you, but for any young player coming out of college and experiencing that whirlwind of, because you're the third overall pick, dude. You're going to be the savior of this franchise, whether you want to or not. Same thing with RG3. Same thing with Michael Vick. They're not picking you that early because you're just going to be an average player in their minds. So coming into a situation like that, and all these people, all the people in Cincinnati looking, Akili Smith is going to save the franchise. Are those the things that contribute to someone not, or to someone? Are those the things that contribute to differentiating an Akili Smith from a Tom Brady?
Exactly. It's very difficult because obviously of our backgrounds coming from the inner city, where some people don't come from the inner city. It's a different type of culture that's involved with that. And, I even look at, for example, I look at Cam Newton. Okay, and I'm very critical of Cam Newton because I believe he has an opportunity to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. But when I see Cam Newton and I see him worrying about what he's wearing and what he's dressing in with the tight pants and the shoes and all the fancy hats and stuff like that, that tells me that he's not as focused as he should be because he's worried about all that type of stuff.
Yeah. And
even when I was following Deshaun Watson in college, it was kind of the same way. And the other quarterbacks across the league, if you watch them, they don't worry about that type of stuff. I played with Brett Favre before. He wore the same jeans to work, the same shirt to work, same old hat. He just woke up, threw his clothes on, and came to work. And those little things that people think that aren't important are very important at the quarterback position.
That's funny, man. I was thinking about that and thinking about Cam earlier today when I was preparing for the show, man. And people will want to say that the league is catching up with him. And I look at the Tom Brady's of the world, and I look at the Peyton Mannings and the guys who are able to stay that step ahead all the time, understanding what they are, understanding where they lack, and continuing to improve. And when you look at a guy like Cam, I don't feel like, because he's been injured and now they're trying to take it easy on him, and he's not throwing at practice and things of that nature. You play quarterback. I don't think he's the type of quarterback that can afford to do that. I think he needs that physical repetition. He needs that muscle memory to be able to do his job properly. And the more he doesn't get it, I think the more he'll decline as a passer in the league. And as he declines as a passer, as he continues to get those or take those big hits, he'll decline as an athlete as well. And then he'll become an average Joe quarterback, which is no good for anybody. So what do you think about that?
I totally agree with everything that you said. I think they have to move the pocket a little bit with Cam. Even if you think about the Super Bowl, I think that they did too much preparation as far as keeping him in the pocket against the Denver Broncos instead of running some zone reads, instead of running some boots and nuggets and things of that nature, as opposed to him trying to develop into this pocket passer in the NFL. And not utilizing all of his talent. Now, should he be running around like RG3 was and all that type of stuff, trying to make plays on his legs, 10 to 15 times a game? No, I'm not saying that. But being able to do some zone read stuff, being able to fake 23 and sit up in the pocket, or fake 23 and make it a booth type play, you have to do that stuff with Cam Newton because as it stands right now, the number 1 receiver is Calvin Benjamin. And he's not a 4-3, 4-4 guy. He's more of a possession guy.
Yeah, he's a big body dude.
His tight end. Yeah, his tight end just went down. Greg Olsen just got hurt. So now Ed Dexton is in there. Go Ducks. I don't know if he fared too well this week. So right now, he really doesn't have the supporting cast that he needs. But, we'll see how it turns out.
What's up with your Ducks, man? You said go Ducks, man. What's up with your Ducks, man? You got your man Willie Taggart up there doing big thing. You know what, dude? I was so happy that the season started, man, because as soon as my man got in the door, it felt like the world was coming down on him. Like kids was going to the hospital because they couldn't work out and they was getting exhausted during his workout. They slammed his strength and conditioning guy that he brought with him, so he had to fire him and all this kind of stuff. I was like, man, just let the season start so this man can start coaching. And I didn't see the game this weekend. I know they took an L this weekend, but I did see the game last weekend, and they look good. They look better on defense than they looked in recent years. And the offense still looks like that Oregon, we're going to put up a bunch of points on you offense. But what's your assessment so far early of Willie Taggart out there?
I'm so proud and happy that he's our head coach. The first time that I talked to him on the phone, it kind of felt like me and you talking on the phone, like we sitting around playing some spades or some dominoes.
No doubt.
I could not Yeah, it's that real. We got a real dude in office. At what point we had the number one recruiting class. I think that was about 2 or 3 months ago. The temple is back. The enthusiasm is back. So I'm looking for Coach Taggart to bring back what Chip Kelly had started. Chip brought in a great offense, that fast-paced offense with flashy uniforms and things of that nature. And Taggart is definitely going to be following that.
He's Akili Smith. We got a couple minutes left here with my man Akili Smith. Appreciate you taking the time to join me, my man. He's the former Oregon Duck quarterback, third overall pick by the Bengals in '99. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram, just like I do, at AKILI_Smith. Let's talk about college quarterback. And they keep saying, I keep hearing ESPN talk about this being the year of the quarterback, the year of the quarterback. Give me your assessment, man, on college quarterbacking nowadays. I'm not all that impressed with the guys that they're impressed with, to be honest with you, man. Like, so when people start talking about Lamar Jackson has all these deficiencies, I'm like, yeah, he does. But guess what? So does Sam Darnold. So does the kid from Oklahoma State. So does the kid from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield. I think all these dudes are lacking. I don't see no Peyton Mannings in this quarterback class. And maybe you do because you have the eye of the quarterback. You played the position. What is your assessment of college quarterbacking, especially now in 2017?
Right now, as it stands, in my opinion, we have never seen anything remotely close to Lamar Jackson.
No, you don't look at him and see Mike Vick, the Virginia Tech Mike Vick.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was headed.
Okay.
These are the words that even Michael Vick said. I think he said this almost like last year. He said that Lamar Jackson, in his opinion, was better than him.
He's a little bit bigger, too.
So
yeah.
Lamar Jackson was better than him. Yeah, he said that. Might have been last year. You may know better than me. But if Michael Vick is saying that Lamar Jackson is better than him, that kid has an opportunity to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL if he gets his opportunity. But the problem is when you see him slashing and running and doing other things and he misses a couple of throws, the first thing that they want to say is what? Let's move him to receiver. We're talking about a guy that's 6'4".
Yeah, it's the most ridiculous thing ever, man.
Yeah, he's 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", and he runs a 4.3 40.
Yeah,
that is incredible. Mike Vick was only maybe 6 foot.
Yeah, at best, in cleats.
At best. So we have not seen nothing like Lamar Jackson.
Before I let you go, man, it's something that I always talk to my former football guests about, especially now in the age of the information that we're being afforded when it comes to like brain injury. And you mentioned also before we start talking, you about to take your son to practice or whatnot. So I see you got the little man playing ball, man. Like when you hear all this stuff that's coming out about the brain, first of all, how are you feeling? Like, how's your body feeling? How's your head feeling? How are you doing? I'll try to make sure I ask that question.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I do need a hip replacement. I'm bone on bone right now. I don't think it came from the NFL or anything like that. I was very fortunate to only have 2 concussions in the NFL and not like some of the other guys. But, as far as the CTE and things of that nature is concerned, with my son, we don't hit too much in practice. Mm-hmm. We teach hawk tackling. We teach tracking that hip. We teach leading with the shoulder. And those are the things that need to be taught. Back then when we were coming up in the 80s, it was called heads up.
Right.
I had coaches that literally used to make me go heads up with another kid in Pop Warner. And to be honest with you, it may have affected me. So nowadays, we don't do that as coaches anymore. We go shoulders up. Now we lead with the shoulders. We run to the hip, and we try to do our best not to hit anyone in the head.
Any concerns? Like one of the most shocking things that I've heard on this show while doing this show, I was talking to my man Ruben Drones, and I asked him a question without any expectation to the answer, and the answer I got, it kind of floored me. I asked him what most concerns him or what he's most fearful of as he goes through life post football. That dude just said turning 40 was the answer. Like, I just turned 40. Like, I didn't have no fear of turning 40. I played ball up through college, but when I heard him say that, and he explained that because of so many of his contemporaries, taking their lives and falling ill after the age of 40, I was like, damn, that's a crazy headspace to be in when your biggest fear is turning 40. You know what I mean? So I'm asking you, any concerns as you progress through life post football?
The only concerns is situations that we try to do our best as far as controlling with what the government is doing with, chemtrails, what they're doing with our food, what they're doing with our air, what they're trying to do with fluoride in the water. Those are more of the concerns with me, just trying to make sure that our kids have an opportunity to not have to deal with some of those things, and the people in humanity know exactly what's going on. Those are my fears. As far as turning 40 and things of that nature, we got to do a good job of taking care of our body. I'm drinking alkaline water every day. I try to stay away from certain meats. I try to stay away from sugars. I try to stay away from carbohydrates and things of that nature. And, we got to do a better job with our bodies as we get older.
God, you're like the total opposite of me. Like every good thing that you're doing is every terrible thing that I do. All right, man. I'm going to let you get out of here. But the one question I ask all my NFL guests, especially guys like you that were drafted early in the game, like you put the foot to the fire too when you got, because you came up long before all this rookie wage scale stuff. Like cats was holding out for more money when they got drafted, and you was one of them, to make sure that you got all your ducats. So what was looking back now as a grown man, looking back now at 20-year-old or 20 whatever year old Akili Smith, when you look back at him, what's the thing that he bought with the money that now you say, dude, why, man? Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, why would you spend money on that?
I bought a Mercedes Benz. I put 3 TVs in there.
Of course you did.
I bought a CL 600, a brand new 2-door coupe CL 600 wired Mercedes Benz, $130,000. I bought a brand new Escalade. And at that time, the seats weren't pushed back. I pushed the seats back, lowered it, put all kind of TVs in there, Rolex watches, just stuff that I had no business buying.
Wait, you bought all these cars at the same time?
No, not all of it at the same time. It was like year after year. Like first year, silver Benz, second year, black Benz, third year, Escalade. But I had no business doing that. You got to buy things like art that appreciate.
Yeah, no doubt.
Buy gold bricks and things of that nature. But, had a lot of money at that time, and they made some bad decisions, like I said, in the off season. And that's why I'm in the situation I'm in now, mentoring and coaching kids and trying to let them know that those decisions are bad decisions.
Dude, I tell people all the time, man, the one thing I never want to do, I never want to forget who 20-year-old Mike was. You know what I mean? I think that happens too frequently. Like we judge these kids so harshly, knowing that if we were in the same position, we'd probably be 10 times as stupid. You know what I mean? Like that, what you did, I would have done. If you give me a couple $1 million, I'm going to the Escalade dealership. I'm putting TVs and spinners and all kind of crazy stuff that we was doing in the 90s on my stuff too. But now we turn to grown men and be like, I can't believe that kid is being so stupid. Why not? I can. I could totally believe it. Yeah. And I know what it is, but I just never want to forget. I never want 40-year-old Mike, 40-year-old Mike now, to forget who 20-year-old Mike was. And then, just crucify these kids the way some people do, man. This is awesome, man. I appreciate you doing this, man. Thank you for joining me today, man. We got some stuff. I think we got some stuff accomplished. We got some thoughts out in the ether. Alkaline water, get that in your body. Stop putting all this sugar in your body also. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to do better.
Yeah, anytime you want to call me and have a nice little dialogue, man, feel free to call me. I'm down to talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm well-versed in a lot of different things. I study a lot of different things, man. So anytime, brother, give me a call.
My man, I appreciate you, man.
All right, buddy.
Have a good one. That's Akili Smith, man. Oh, man. Yeah, man. I feel good about that. That's all right. Big L, what up, boy? I see you. You know what I mean? Big L's in my chat room. You guys can join him in there. Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app. You see a little thought bubble icon. Just click on that. You get in there, holler at my man. I'm also live on TuneIn if you don't feel like participating in the show. You can also text me at 404-902-8104. Make sure you guys are following Akili, man. Akili_Smith, Facebook, Twitter. I think he's at Akili Smith on Facebook. He's at Akili Smith. On Twitter and Instagram, he's at Akili_Smith, man. Yeah, that was cool, man. A guy who, a lot of times you hear the name Akili Smith and the first thing that comes to mind is what? Bust. And we use that word so frequently and we just throw it out there. not understanding, man, that there's so many factors that go into someone either becoming an all-timer or somebody becoming a no-timer when it comes to the NFL, man, especially at that position, as difficult as it is to play and transition from the college game to the pro game. So let's take a break. Come back. We got to do on this day. We're going to continue this conversation, man, about the things that, because I want to hear what my guys got to say, man. My guy, Big L, my man, I am no those two dudes that are boycotting the NFL. And you guys too, man. 404-902-8104. Text the show anytime. If you're listening to the show on demand, you can still text the show, and I'll get the text, and I'll be able to read them, and I'll talk about them on whatever the next show happens to be. This is the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm here live, man. Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app, tune in, and of course, OneMicWithBigMike.com.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at OneMicWithBigMike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
One Mic.
All I need is one mic.
It's just different.
One Mic with Big Mike.
The overall tenor of what he's saying is very stupid.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
Maybe it's not racism, maybe it's placism.
Brother has to know his place, right, Bob?
One Mic with Big Mike.
Things aren't always what they seem.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limit.
Don't just tell me that the reason something's being done is because that's the way it's always been done. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you is slavery.
And now, your host.
I got the big homie here who needs no introduction.
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Yes, sir. Hour number 2 here on the One Mic with Big Mike show. Don't forget, if you didn't get a chance to stick around and hear the interview with former Bengal, former 3rd overall pick, former Oregon Duck, Akili Smith. You can catch up on demand on Spreaker, the Spreaker app. Tune in, OneMicWithBigMike.com, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube, and as well as on Facebook with the Facebook live stream I got pumping right now. You can also join the show, join the conversations a couple different ways by texting me, one at 404-902-8104, 404-902-8104. You can leave your comments and questions below the live streaming video here on Facebook. And you guys can jump on in my live interactive chat room. If you're listening via Spreaker, just click on that little thought bubble icon. It'll get you right up in the building with my man, I am no Doze, my guy, Big L. These cats hold me down pretty regularly here on the show, man. I definitely 100% appreciate y'all, man. Here's a crazy story before I get into on this day. Apparently, folks has lost their damn mind. A suspected cannibal family is reported to have admitted killing and eating. That's not even funny. Why did I laugh? Admitted killing and eating at least 30 people over an 18-year period. Police have found body parts, including meat and skin, throughout the house in southern Russia. Those Trump boys. Them Russian cats, cuz. I'm trying to sit here and wait. What time the game start? Got Monday Night Football tonight. Cowboys and Cardinals. I'm trying to wait, see what this anthem thing gonna be popping off like, because apparently the Cowboys have quote unquote something planned. Anyway, pictures issued by prosecutors were too gruesome to publish. They showed someone's head on a platter surrounded by oranges. This can't be. Is this real news? Another shows a suspect with someone's severed hand in their mouth. A third picture shows body parts inside a jar where they were being preserved in some kind of liquid. This is all bad, dude. They got a picture of the dude too, man. Dmitry Bastav. Yeah, he look like he eat folks, dude. I can't even front. Yeah, cause this dude look like he eat folks, man. It's on my Facebook page at One Mic with Big Mike. I think it's up there. If not, I'll put it up after the show. Yeah, homie look like he eat people, B. It's a bad look. Anyway, it's that time of the show, man, where I take you guys back and give you guys a little taste of history, sports history. I call it On This Day.
Now, let's take a look back. On this day.
All right, on this day in 1882, the first ever Major League double header was played. It was between Worcester and Providence. On this day in 1965, the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, at the age of 34 years old, became the oldest man to hit 50 home runs in a single season. He had also set the record for the youngest to hit 50 10 years earlier. Yeah, I think Barry Bonds was older than that, wasn't he? Roids. Sorry. On this day in 1965, the homie Satchel Paige of the Kansas City Athletics, at the age of 59 years old, he pitched 3 shutout innings against the Boston Red Sox. Shout out to Melanin, man. Shout out to the bruh. 59? On this day in 1978, Melissa Ludke, a writer for Sports Illustrated, filed a suit in the U.S. District Court. The result was that Major League Baseball could not bar female writers from the locker room after the game. That's monumental stuff, man. 1978. On this day in 1997, NBC sportscaster Marv Albert, yes, pled guilty to assault and battery of a lover. He was fired from NBC within hours, and then hours later felt like he was back on the sidelines. Can anyone say white privilege? And finally, on this day in 2001, Michael Jeffrey Jordan announced that he would return to the NBA as a player for the Washington Wizards. Jordan became the president of basketball operations for the team in January 19th of 2000. Yeah, I don't even count those years for Michael Jordan. Like, they didn't even exist in my mind. Speaking of Michael Jordan spoke about this whole situation with Donald Trump. And he did the thing that a lot of these cats are doing. Like, the easy stuff, man. You know, they have the right to protest. They have the right in America to protest. Like, okay, no doubt, Captain Obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep saying this. Real deal. Call me when somebody starts talking about income inequality. Call me when somebody starts talking about mass incarceration. Call me when those issues start coming up. But for somebody to say Nazis are bad, all right. You know what I mean? For some people to say, you know, black people have rights too. Like, that Constitution, it's kind of supposed to now be for black people, although it wasn't written for black people, with black people in mind. It kind of supposed to be that way now. For you to say that and expect me to stand up and give you a freaking standing ovation, I'm good. You know what I mean? You don't get no credit for stating the obvious, man. Not at all. Do something. You know, these cats taking knees and all this kind of stuff. Do something. You know what I mean? Like, Marshawn Lynch ain't just sitting his ass down. That's not the end of the story for him. Check his record, man. Michael Bennett ain't just sitting down, B. These cats is putting money up. Michael Bennett's giving all his endorsement money. And not just, like, him and his brother, man, those two dudes, shout to them, man. They made a point to say it can't be about doing football camps in the summer so that 0.0001% of one of those kids ends up in the NFL. They talking about doing like creative services for kids, where kids can be story writers. You know what I'm saying? Art, music, the stuff that they taking out of the schools. They putting their money into that. It ain't just about sitting down, man. So when people start talking about, well, it's about the conversation. Damn talking at this point. I mean, how many hundreds of years need to keep going by and all people doing is talking? That's why, man, like, I'll say, you know, about, you know, boycotting the NFL, if it's what makes you feel better about the situation. Like, my man said, now that I am no dose in the chat room, now that he's off the NFL narcotic, the Sundays are far less stressful. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, maybe because I don't do the whole my team thing no more. I haven't for like some years now. excuse me, there's no stress in Sunday for me. Like, I'm watching purely as a fan of football itself. You know what I'm saying? The NFL didn't surprise me with Colin Kaepernick. You guys know this, especially you two guys know this, right? From day one, I knew my man was done in the league. Because like Big L mentioned, we've seen it before. And as much white people love their racist history, man. You ain't noticed that in this country? They love it, and they love to repeat it when they can. Just kind of put a little different remix on it. So it happened to my man Mahmoud Abdul. It happened to my man Craig Hodges. And now it's happening to my man Colin Kaepernick. He's not playing no more football. The only difference is now, if you heard my interview with the previous two guys, they didn't really have a lot of backing from their cohorts. Now, because of what social media has allowed a certain level of groupthink to happen, people are the same way these freaking white supremacists, racist MFers are emboldened. Like, people on the right side of the issues are also emboldened. You know, where guys like LeBron James don't have to be Michael Jordan. They don't have to be the whole, you know, Republicans buy shoes guys too. LeBron James can be like this freaking bum in the White House. Today he was like, the country is run by the people, not by one man, especially that guy, which was pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I love like LeBron. Like, LeBron's a petty ass dude at times, but like this level of petty is totally #acceptable. You know what I mean? Approved by the kid. He was like, yeah, the country is run by the people, not by one man, especially not that guy. He only call him by his name. Just put no respect on his name, man. F him, dude. Told y'all before, man, that's a two-way street, cuz. I don't care what title somebody gave you. You don't just get respect from me. I'm a grown man too, dude. I'll whoop your ass. The hell is wrong with these folks talking about you're supposed to respect? I'm supposed to do nothing. Crazy MFers, man. All right, let me get back to my notes, man, so I can calm down and actually, you know, because I told myself I ain't just want to be on here like, you know, rambling and, you know, whatever, rebel rousing, all this kind of craziness. So they asked homeboy today about, you know, the race issue. Of course, coward racists ain't gonna come out and say it's about race. You dig? I didn't say anything about race. Really? But when your NASCAR Yahoo buddies, your Confederate flag lovers was like, you damn right. You letting these damn N-words come around here talking about they taking these, we're firing all of them. And you know what surprises people, y'all? People say, well, ain't no black folks in NASCAR anyway. Hold on. You know who the black people in NASCAR are on some real stuff? A lot of them. I saw a story on this on Real Sports maybe 2 years ago. A lot of the black people that are in NASCAR are the pit crew guys. They're former college football players, guys who, you know, weren't good enough to make it to the NFL or whatever, but still have, you know, the athletes and the same kind of athletic attributes that you have to play football, the quickness and the strength. Think about it. The same stuff you need to be able to jack up a car and put tires on it in like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So they use those same guys and those dudes that's under those helmets and then those racing suits. A lot of them are black guys who used to play football. So yeah, there are black people in NASCAR, dude, getting checks. You know what I'm saying? So when Richard Petty and these cats come out talking about we're gonna fire the black asses if they dare disrespect my flag, you know what? I'll piss on your damn flag, cuz. Straight up. Because all it is, man, is a way for you to justify the police killing folks with no, you know what I'm saying, with no consequences. And until one of these white folks include that in their conversation about flags and anthems, you can miss me with the whole thing. You can miss me with the whole troops thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what the stats are on troops? The one thing that people need to know about troops and need to be talking about with troops today. By the time the clock strikes midnight, 22 men who served this country in war, men and women, would have killed themselves. That's the average daily. 22. Taking their own lives. How many people you hear talking about that? But you want to talk about a big ass oversized flag in the middle of a football field? People flying jets over, man, kiss my ass, because there's real issues. People can't get proper health care. I'm talking about the veterans can't get proper health care from the VA to save their lives. But y'all want to talk about, a racist ass song. No, you don't. That's not really, if you had a choice, you wouldn't want to talk about that either. But it's just easier than talking about black people getting murdered by the police and beat up by the police. That's a much easier conversation to get the rest of your hillbilly buddies behind you on. It's all good. So one of the things that Donald Trump, I guess one of his goals was, because he's a TV guy, talking about ratings. So let's do that. Let's delve into that a little bit, because I did a little work today. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be too lazy with this thing and just start, spewing off my normal nonsense. NBC Sports. Last night, the game, the Redskins and the Raiders, which was a snoozer. Redskins got all up in that bunkie. It was down about 10% versus last year's comparable matchup. The game averaged an 11.6 rating, a 20 share in metered market households. That's also down from the 2 games earlier this season. Now, this article also points out that the game was a blowout. So, that has a contributing factor as well. I don't doubt for a minute that these damn yahoos listen to this dumbass tell them to turn the TVs off or not go to the game so that black men would be fired for stepping out. That's all it is. Slave owners mentality. This is why I love when white people can't see or choose not to see. They feel like because the salary is millions with these players, that there's not a slave owner's mentality with the guys who are making billions. Are you kidding me? The fact that you run around, even today, it was so awesome. Charles Woodson was like, just like with these owners. Well, I don't want to call them owners because that doesn't just seem right on a day like today. Yeah, but it's so commonplace. These owners, they own these players. Let me tell you something, man. There's a lot of misconceptions about slavery because people don't want to read and people don't want to sit down and watch anything else but reality TV and dumb stuff, right? When it comes to their entertainment, right? But one of the things that people don't, there were slaves who bought their own, they purchased their own freedom and the freedom of their families in some cases. Where the hell you think they got the money from? There were slaves that earned money. Did you watch 12 Years a Slave? The Solomon Northup character, that's a true story. He was given money by slavers for doing things outside of the cotton picking. Like, this was a reality in the world of slavery. So the notion that money disqualifies you from being a slave is utterly ridiculous. So anytime you hear a white person or a black person say some stupid ass stuff like, oh, I want to be that kind of slave, until you are. Read my man William C. Roden. The book is called The $40 Million Slave. If you want perspective on what I'm speaking of, and no, it's not race baiting. Let me tell you something about this race baiting thing. The thing that I'm pissed off about too, and I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but it's just hit my mind. Apparently, my Facebook stuff has been blocked. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, I promote my show on Facebook, and I'm in a couple of groups or whatnot. And part of me promote my show, I post articles, the stuff that I'm reading throughout the day. I'll post them in these groups. I'll also post promotion for the show, flyers or whatever, links to the show for people can hear it. And apparently, and I know who it was, but I got a pretty good idea. When these damn white boys who love to, call me a racist and all that, which I don't mind, it's cool, whatever, and say my show is trash, apparently reported me for something, which I don't know what it's for. So now I can't post nothing in no group for like 2 weeks or something like that, which is really a pissed off, a thing that pisses me off. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'll work around it. You know, damn them. I hope if there was a place called hell, I would hope they burn in it. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm on my Huey P. Bobby Seals type stuff lately here, man, because like I don't appreciate that at all, man. Like this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? just because you don't understand certain things, like this conversation about Lamar Jackson playing wide receiver. Why should Lamar Jackson play wide receiver? You tell me how much this Sam Darnold kid or Baker Mayfield, how much better they are than Lamar Jackson. I don't see nobody talking about them playing guard, fullback, or nothing crazy. Hell out of here, man. So these things come up, and then, you know, I guess white folks find a way. They do. They find a way to get at you. But it's, you know, it's all good where I stay at. As far as these ratings go, CBS touted gains for the Sunday daytime NFL coverage, of course, because a lot of people tuned in. They want to see what's going on with these anthems and stuff. There was some ignorance. that dude Shady McCoy, even though like he's one of the guys I'm talking about. Like, dude, you ain't see these black folks getting killed by the police on social media. He was the one talking about Colin Kaepernick's distraction and all that. My man said, I'm not even going to sit. I'm not kneeling. I'm going to just stretch during the national anthem. I was like, oh, boy. That is my brand of ignorance. That's me all day. He should have done some like old school stuff too, like way backs and jumping jacks during the. And Jim Kelly's like, I've lost all respect for LaShawn McCoy. Look, man, that dude calls himself shady. He don't care about your damn respect, Jim Kelly. Nobody care about that. Dude, hey, look. Hey, what's going on with my stuff? Oh, I turned it all the way down. Trying to hit a sound effect, my bad.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Jim Kelly, punk ass. I've lost all respect for LaShawn McCoy. Yeah, meanwhile, LaShawn McCoy's like, who? The dude that lost all the Super Bowls? Bet. Anyway, how much time I got left in this segment? I got a couple minutes left in this segment, so let's go ahead. Because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Carmelo as well. I'm trying to keep my eye on what's going on with this game. The game comes on at 8:30, I guess. I want to see what happens with the Dallas Cowboys as it pertains to this protest stuff. Also, you guys, let's do something, man. If you're within the sound of my voice, as black people, we gotta stop letting other folks define what the hell is going on, man. And what I mean is, and I've said this before on the show, and I'm gonna keep saying it as much as I can for the people who hear me. We gotta stop calling it. We have to stop calling it the anthem protest. It's not what it is. No one's protesting a damn song. That's not what's happening. This is a protest about racial injustice in this punk ass country. But as long as we let the other side, the dumbass side, keep calling it and labeling it an anthem protest, and as long as these players feel the need to keep addressing it as such, I love the country. I love the troops. You can leave them out of it. They were never a part of any of this. Leave that out of the conversation. All you're doing is feeding stupidity when that happens. Okay, so it's on now. I'm looking at the Cowboys, and the one thing I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the least you could possibly do, taking one step above that, locking arms, that's what they're doing. Look at Jerry. He got a ish-eating grin on his face like, yeah, I got my N-words in tow. You understand me? My N-words are in line. My man, Jerry's in the building, man. What's happening right now? Wait, what's going on? Wait, I need to turn this up, y'all. My bad.
Very adamant about wanting to separate that message from the national anthem.
Oh, wait a minute. Everybody's taking a knee.
And as they take a knee collectively, boos can be heard from this sellout crowd.
Look at what's happening. They're booing him, too. Look at it. Let me turn that up some for y'all. Hey, you see Jerry old ass on the knee.
Here's public address announcer Jim Barnett.
All right, I don't want to hear this crowd no more. I don't even know what to say about that right now, man. They had to help Jerry's old cricky bones up. Oh man, that's shout out to Jerry Jones, man. Shout out to Dallas Cowboys, I guess, man. Whatever, you know what I mean? Because at this point, I don't know, man. At this point, I think it feels like things have just jumped the shark. You know what I'm saying? You see guys like Ray Lewis out there on both knees. Like, come on, man. Ain't nobody forgot. Ain't nobody forgot who you are, Ray, and what you stick to football, Colin. But now you got to protect Massa's house now. You know what I'm saying? You got to protect the shield. Your man comes out and says, these people are sons of bitches. And he tells, his hillbilly buddies not to go to the game. Jordan Sparks is singing the national anthem. I wonder if she's going to take a knee. Let me tell you something about this Jordan Sparks thing. Is she pregnant? Yeah, Jordan Sparks has got a little chunky. She went through that phase a little bit after American Idol. Then she was chunky, and then she got real sex. That's Felipe Sparks' baby. And now she's back. Maybe somebody knocked her up. Wasn't she messing with Jason Derulo, and she said she wasn't gonna giving up the cooties until she got married, and he dumped her, something like that. Like somebody put something in her. All right, whatever. As I digress, I'm just kind of like, I don't know what I just saw, because they took a knee and then they got back up, and now they're singing the anthem. This is weird. 404-902-8104, man. You can text into the show. You can also leave your comments below my Facebook live stream at One Mic with Big Mike on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the same handle. Also, make sure you check out the live interactive chat room here on Facebook, on Spreaker. If you're listening via Spreaker, just click that little thought bubble icon. It'll get you up in there. Also, make sure you click the share icons as well, so you can share me across social media, and the little heart icon to indicate that you like the show. We're going to wrap up this segment and try to figure out what the hell is going on. What the hell went on with these cats, with these Dallas Cowboy cats? Like this choreographed, lock arms, take a knee, stand back up type ridiculous. I don't know, man. Like, no one knows what they're doing. Or, why are they doing it? And then there was the Steelers. The Steelers, Mike Tomlin, he was the first one. The Steelers, the Seahawks, and the Titans didn't come out of the locker room for the anthem. Apparently last night, who played last night? The Raiders didn't want to come out, but they had to because of the timing of the television broadcast. They would have missed the coin toss. They would have missed a couple of other things, and maybe even gotten a penalty for not being out there on time. So they had to come out there, and they black ass just sat down. A lot of them. Like, to me, that's where it should have stayed. Like, I don't believe when it comes down to protests, it's supposed to be uncomfortable for the other side. It's supposed to be disruptive. You know what I'm saying? All that compromise, that, to me, that was the one place that I disagreed with Colin Kaepernick on. When he met with that white boy, Nate Boyer, and decided that I'm going from just sitting my black ass on this bench in total disrespect to taking a knee in order to compromise with idiots. Let me tell you something. Humans are already insatiable, but idiots are even more so. You start giving in to idiots, they're going to require more of you. And that's what you see happening now. It wasn't enough that he was like, all right, to clear up any confusion, let me take a knee and be respectful. Damn their respect, man. Sit your ass down. Like Marshawn was on the cooler, dude, with a beanie on his head, eating a banana, my G. Like, if you want to do it, do it. That's what the Raiders did. The Raiders just sat the hell down. They was like, man, F this, dude. Taking no damn knees. Let's take it back to the original. You know what I'm saying? Derek Wolfe, defensive tackle for the Broncos. Awesome. This is the greatest country in the world. Great at what? What is this country great at? It don't make nothing. but debt and sickness for his people. Great at what? Food challenges. You know what I mean? We can make huge food and sit people behind desks to eat bunches of hot dogs or whatever. I don't even know why I'm saying we. I don't associate myself with that foolishness. He got on some old, if you don't like it, why don't you leave? Well, why don't you tell your great granddaddy to tell me where he picked me up at, dumbass? Like my man Craig Hodges said, we built it any damn way. Why are we gonna leave now? We built the whole damn thing. Why are we leaving? Stupid ass, man. Like, these white folks kill me with that, man. If you don't like it, then leave. If you don't like it, kiss my ass. Stupid. But, you know, that's where we at, man. Like, this country, just like I talk about the NFL, this country is no different. Like Barack Obama, man, all Barack Obama was able to do, man, was kind of press pause for a little bit on some things. And the people who believe in hope, they had it for a while. But Donald Trump is America. You know what I'm saying? He is the exemplification of America. White, privileged male. That's what this country is, man. Everything is mine. I make the rules. And when you catch up, I'll make new rules to push you back. That's what this country is, man. I don't get surprised by douchebags. Nope. Once you show me who you are, I ain't got no problem believing you, my man, at all. Feel me? It's One Mic with Big Mike. I'm gonna take this final break. Come back. We're gonna talk some basketball, man. I'm excited for basketball season to come, man. Cat's gonna be staying up late this season. You want to see the good teams play? You gonna be staying your ass up this season, man. I'll be right back.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Go Caleb! Come on, hit a homer, Jesse!
Let's go, guys!
Hey, did you guys know that kids who play sports earn more money when they grow up?
Of course. I knew that.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who read books have a bigger vocabulary?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Wow, jinx. Did you guys know that friendly children have more friends?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's true, I knew that. Did you guys know that winter babies are better at music?
Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
obvious.
Oh, hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Huh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure I knew that.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And now back to One Mic with Big Mike.
And here we go!
Hey. Last segment of the show, man. Monday here on the One Mic with Big Mike show. It's live, man, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 7 p.m. on Spreaker. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm also on TuneIn and the One Mic with BigMike.com website. Streaming live video on Facebook at the number 1 MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. Use that same handle for my Twitter and my Instagram. Hit your boy with the follows. Like that Facebook page. You still got time to get in on the text line, 404-902-8104, 404-902-8104. You can text that line anytime. 24/7, 7 days a week. That's the same thing, isn't it? 24/7. Yeah, anytime, man. And I'll get the messages and I'll read them if they're worthy on the air. Whatever the following show would be. I'm sitting here trying to check out and see if my TuneIn is working. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm live on TuneIn right now. Anyway, somebody can check that for me, man. One of you guys in the chat room, if you're listening right now, see if the show is streaming live on TuneIn, because there's like 2 of them. There's like 2 tune-ins, and I don't know how to consolidate them into one. One for the on-demand stuff and one for the live thing. Anyway, you guys don't have to worry about that. So in the NBA, your man Trump, he wasn't just going in on the NFL now. He went after the NBA's darling, my man Stephen Curry. Steph's the middle finger to you, homie. It ain't happening. I ain't coming down there to holler at you. If you bringing Barack back, but since that ain't happening, no. And so my man caught feelings. He went with the old, you can't break up with me because I'm breaking up with you. Disinviting somebody who already wasn't coming to your junk. You freaking idiot, turd bag individual. Shout out to Steph too, man. And then, LeBron swooped in at the back end with the bum comment. Shout out to him for that. Like, I love to see dudes just get like flamed because it's for being idiots, man. Dudes that think they so on top of things and nobody can't touch them. Like, come on, man. These cats got long money too, man. Like, once you get past a certain amount of money, my belief is, I don't know this from personal experience, obviously, but my belief is it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, let's say, because all this is alleged. Let's say Donald Trump has $1 billion. Let's say he has $1,000 million. That's what $1 billion is, right? Steph Curry got $200 million on his new deal. What is it anybody feels like Steph Curry can't buy and Donald Trump can? You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get past a certain point, man, anything, it don't even really become about the money at a certain point. It's about access and power, and that's what Donald Trump is all about, man. He loved feeling like he had power over people. That's why he had that doo-doo eating grin on his face when he gives those damn speeches. Because he feels like he's dictating. But really, man, he's a small individual. He's a mental midget. Thank you, man. Thanks, Big L. Yeah, he's a mental midget. You feel what I'm saying? Insecure as hell. He's like the Issa Rae of politics. You know what I mean? Except he's old and ugly and stupid. So anyway, talking about the NBA, big trade this weekend, man. Big name trade. You know what I mean? The homie Carmelo is headed out of New York into Oklahoma City to join Paul George and my man Russ. I'm so intrigued by this because I don't know how that's gonna happen. Like you dig with Paul George. Like, Paul's not a dude that got to get a bunch of shots. You know what I'm saying? He did, of course, in Indiana, but he's not a dude that gets a bunch of shots. He's a dude that's also very committed on the defensive end as well. He's a guy who's he'll do what it takes on that end of the floor to contribute to the team. We know that's not necessarily the case for Carmelo, which, like, I've never been a dude to bag on Carmelo about that. Like, for whatever reason, man, people feel as though to be a superstar, you have to be all things. Like, there's only a few guys who've ever played basketball who have been those things. Guys by the name of, like, Wilt, Michael Jordan. LeBron is one of those type of guys. These all-time great, Kobe at his best was one of those guys. Most guys, like, even like Dennis Rodman was a rebounder. Dikembe Mutombo was a shot blocker. You know, Charles Barkley was pretty much a scorer. He and Karl Malone were scorers. They wasn't giving it up on the defensive end like that, on some all defensive type stuff. Carmelo is a bucket getter. He's a scorer professionally, man. And he gets buckets in a variety of different ways when he's at his best. Of course, he's getting older now. He's missed a step. Ooh, Carson Palmer just hit a touchdown pass. And that's my fantasy quarterback. Shout out to me. Shout out to me. So no, I love Carmelo's game. Now, Big L makes a point in the chat room that there's not enough balls to go around. And you know why there's not enough balls? Because their coach is Billy Donovan. I firmly believe between him and Scott Brooks, it's just the same human being. Who are the best players on my team? Okay, we're in a timeout. You two dudes figure it out. KD, Russ, figure it out. You know what I mean? He ain't drawing no damn plays. Out of bounds plays. How you think Russ got all them damn triple doubles last year? Okay, here's what we're going to do, guys. Pass the ball to Will. Every time. Remember that on the Fresh Prince? Here's the play. Pass the ball to Russ. Let him do whatever he does. Yeah, dude, that's why his usage rate is so damn high. This is why, like, you people who don't understand basketball and can't understand why KD wanted to get the hell out of there, because to do what he does as effectively as he does it, it just took too much effort. Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City is a much more complete player than he would have ever been in Oklahoma City. Kevin Durant's leading the team in block shots. Say what? Playing like a real ass 7-footer on the defensive end? Being the rim protector that people was wondering, like, oh my God, they don't have Festus Ezeli. How are they going to protect the rim? Yeah, his name is Kevin Durant. A dude that doesn't have to put forth that much energy on offense anymore can now use that energy on the defensive end. So we start talking about guys like Carmelo, and people talk about why Carmelo can't dedicate himself on the defensive end. Well, part of the reason is every team that he's on, he has to shoulder the load offensively at every turn. Hell, even with Kobe, at some point, he had Andrew Bynum. When Andrew Bynum was good before he left and did the knee thing in Philadelphia and all that went to hell. He had, of course, Shaq in the middle. When Carmelo was in Denver, I guess Kenyon Martin was there. But it's Kenyon Martin. And then he's in New York. Amari Stoudemire's body betrayed him and turned to goo. So, yeah, I don't blame... hell no, I don't blame Melo for not being no defensive stopper. But we'll see. Because now he'll be on a team with two dudes who are dogs, man. You know, like I don't think there's enough appreciation for who Paul George is. I did. I did. I talked about it, dude. You weren't here on last Wednesday. I talked about KD and the tweets and, you know, I don't know what to say about that, man. Like, you know, my man had a fake Twitter account to defend himself. And he forgot that he was on the real one and he got busted. Like, I'm like Draymond on this. Just laugh at it and move on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact of the matter is, you know, everything that I'm saying about the Oklahoma City Thunder, he said, and I think it's true. They played 2-on-5 so many times down there, man, because they had two ultimately talented players. And as a coach, it just bailed Scott Brooks and Billy Donovan out too many times, man. Like, if you could leave and go have fun and still ball and get your man on, bounce, man. But back to this whole trade thing. So I talked about it last week. Do I have two accounts? No, I don't. Like, dude, I hate. Let me tell you. Oh, well, actually, I do. I got one for my business account for my production company, and then for the show. But I hate it. I hate having. Big L's asked me if I have multiple accounts on social media. I do, but they're not anonymous. Like, they're all me. You know what I mean? They're all my accounts. But I hate Facebook. Like, the minute I'm done doing with this show, I'm disappearing, dude, from Facebook. I don't tweet as much as I used to anymore because, crap, man, it's too much to keep up with. You know what I'm saying? It's too much to posting pictures on Instagram, and then you gotta link them with your Facebook, and then when you link it with your Facebook, it only has a link, it doesn't have the picture, so it's just so much, man. I hate it. I hate social media in general. I think people are stupid on social media. And everybody's looking, you know, to do what's easiest and portray themselves as this person or not. Like, I'm an idiot. And I'm going to be an idiot. I'm 40 years old and I'm going to be an idiot. And it is just what it is. I don't have anything to hide from. I got a woman who loves me, who knows why she does, but she does. You know what I mean? So I don't need nobody else. I don't need to be diving in nobody's DMs and whatever. Nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm all right. Speaking of my woman, man, shout out to her, man. She's down there in Florida with she works for FEMA, man, down there helping them people out get their lives in order, man. It's gonna be tough. She's gonna be down there for another 3 weeks or whatnot, man. And you know, I'm here. Good thing the internet connection is working again. Anyway, so anyway, the thing with that Big L was mentioning is not enough balls to go around. That seems like it may be a little bit of an issue, you know, for them because the thing with Russ that has a lot of people kind of just, in that headspace that Russ is this different character is the triple doubles. But when you talk to basketball people and they break down these triple doubles for Russ, and even the guys who played with him talked about the pressure of helping Russ get these assists. They weren't just coming organically. The rebounds weren't just coming organically. It was a concentrated effort at a certain point to get him to that point. Now we're in a situation where Oklahoma City's in a 1-year all-in type situation. Carmelo can opt out at the end of the year. Russ still hadn't signed that $200 million extension. He still hadn't signed that. And everybody already knows Paul George has his eye on L.A. already. It's a 1-year all-in. I will say this, man. And I said this a couple of years ago, and I kind of fell off of it when I said this a couple of years ago when Harden and Russ and KD was all like 22, 23 years old. And then they had to, they felt like they had to trade James Harden because they weren't going to be able to sign him. And I was like, for what, what's his name, Sam Presti in the front office in Oklahoma City has done, I don't ever see a reason to doubt them. Now, I did start doubting them. You know what I mean? But now you can't, because think about it this way. If you're Oklahoma City, just being relevant is a victory. You're Oklahoma City, man. You shouldn't be. There's no way that team should even be, that city should be in the conversation when you start talking about championship runs and things of that nature. And for the better part of a decade, they've been consistently in that realm. You know what I mean? Consistently in that realm. So that's a big shout out to their front office, man, from what they've done from the inception, from drafting Kevin Durant over Greg Oden to finding Russell Westbrook, who, by the way, if you guys remember coming out of UCLA, there was no position for him. Like, is he a shooting guard? Is he a combo guard? Is he a point guard? There was really no position for him, but whatever. To going a little bit later in the draft, getting this kid James Harden out of Arizona State. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention Serge Ibaka. Like, they did a wonderful job, man, down there when it came to young talent. They made some moves that were questionable. A lot of people felt like they should have just played the situation out with James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Let him walk. Don't try to get something for him. Well, they did, and it didn't work out. But now, look where they at. Who saw Paul George, feel me, being an Oklahoma City Thunder, much less Carmelo? Carmelo had his mind set on Houston, going out there to play with Chris Paul. That's another one that I'm very interested in seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, James Harden had the best, feel me, the best year of his career last year playing point guard for Mike D'Antoni. And now you got what's arguably, sabermetrically, the second best guard of all time in the NBA. I don't know how many people know that, man. Like, by the metrics, Chris Paul is the best guard ever, or second best to Michael Jordan ever in the league. I read that article like last year sometime. It blew my mind. So you got these two guys in the backcourt. How are they going to coexist? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to really be interested in seeing. Like, I'm cool on this football stuff. I mean, we had a good weekend of football this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Some good finishes. Philly, 61-yard kick to end the game. Tom Brady throwing game winners. You know what I mean? The situation with the Falcons was bananas. I felt like it was the right call. The goal line situation with Golden Tate. People say they don't understand the 10-second runoff. The 10-second runoff is because when they study these type of things, they don't believe that without any timeouts, you got 8 seconds. The ball is down at the yard line. You got to unpack players. Then you got to spot the football and get the referees out of the way. You can't do all that in 8 seconds. So they just call it an 8-second runoff when something happens like that with a running clock. It makes sense to me. And for all the Detroit people that's going to be pissed off about it, and all the Atlanta people that's going to be happy about it, let me tell you something. Here in the city of Atlanta, and I'm going to say it now, today, so that when it happens, I can bring it back up. What happened in week 1 where Jordan Howard dropping that pass on the goal line, allowing the Falcons to escape with that week 1 win in Chicago. Then what happened yesterday with, and no one's talking about how Jim Caldwell blew all 3 of the timeouts, which is the reason that you had a 10-second runoff because you don't have no more damn timeouts. Jim Caldwell just re-upped his deal, so big up to him. But the fact that the Falcons escaped 2 out of the first 3 weeks in the NFL, you watch enough football, those things come back. You know what I mean? They come back around. There'll be a call at some point in the season that could have gone either way, that the Falcons will fall on the wrong side of. And people around here will be screaming bloody effing murder. Forgetting the drop ball in week 1. Forgetting the 10-second runoff in week 3. Like they never happened. But thus is life, you know. The ridiculousness of being a fan, and then the Falcons fans are like, maybe because I'm so close to it, they're extra ridiculous. Anyway, back to the NBA. I wanted to talk some college football today too, man, because some things happened. That kid Saquon Barkley is an ignorant thing. Like I think I only saw him play once last year in the bowl game. No, I saw him play late in the season and then in the bowl game. But damn it, I didn't know that kid was that big, that quick. Like, I want to say Todd Gurley in college, but like Todd Gurley was more like straight ahead speed, like fast and big. This kid is quick and sudden and big and fast and all these things that you shouldn't be in a human body. But he is. And it's crazy. But anyway, back to the NBA. I know I'm jumping around. It's just so much happening over the weekend, man. So much happened. Dwayne Wade got bought out by the Bulls. He did like the Dwight Howard, the grand opening, grand closing. I'm coming home, but I'm not staying, B. There's no chance of winning around this joint. They got rid of Jimmy Butler. Dwayne Wade didn't stick around for no damn rebuild. So now him and old Gabby, they got to find their way somewhere, man. They talking San Antonio. They talking Cleveland, of course, because his man there, LeBron's in the building, and Oklahoma City's making a pitch for him. Down there with him, D. Wade, Carmelo, Paul George, and Russ. That just sounds weird. It doesn't sound like it makes too much sense. I was reading an article the other day about Monte Ellis. And it was about Monte, but it was about players like Monte. How the league has kind of passed them by. The same way I always talk about the league passing guys like Dwight Howard by. The Monte Ellises of the world, those slashers and those get all the way to the rim guards who just don't have a place anymore in the league because it's either like dudes are shooting the basketball a whole lot more. And I feel the same way about Dwayne Wade. The league is done with him, man. Like Dwayne Wade is pretty much an NBA mascot at this point. You know, searching for that one last ride down the championship river. But I don't think he brings value to any squad, man, any longer. Like last year, remember they had the problems with him not practicing and the young players like, what about that dude? Why isn't he doing anything to help us get better on the days that we're not playing? And it became a thing. You know what I mean? Because Dwayne Wade is now, he's that guy that's, it's legacy and brand for him now. And when people start talking about like the ring chasing, he's in that same mold now as Karl Malone in the later years and Gary Payton in the later years and guys like that. It's not about playing basketball for the love of basketball anymore. And it may not have been for a while now. Dwayne Wade wants to be on the bigger stages now to, of course, increase his brand. I got a couple minutes left, so before I go, let me make sure I mention some of the other things that I didn't get a chance to talk to. I mentioned the whole CTE thing with Akili Smith. But Aaron Hernandez apparently, excuse me, had CTE, the brain of a 70-year-old. And then people are going to try to make that link between him being a serial murderer and concussions and the NFL. His old lady's already talking about she's going to sue the NFL and the Patriots. And to that I say, effing joy that. You know what I mean? It might be time to brush that resume off, ma. Whatever was on it, man, because the only saving grace that I heard people talking about with this is the NFL or the Patriots or whomever may settle with her in order to just not have to disclose any type of like playbooks, any type of medical stuff that they may have that would have indicated that they didn't disclose information to Aaron Hernandez. But the legitimacy of a lawsuit saying that this dude who was already into stuff while he was in college at Florida all of a sudden became a murderer or this different person because of the NFL, a little bit of a stretch. Just a little bit. And finally, I guess I can do this quickly and then get up out of here and go watch me some football. No hashtag boycott or no hashtag, what is it? Boycott the NFL for me, man. You know what I mean? I got shows to do. And even if I didn't, I'd watch, man, because this is what I do. You know what I mean? And again, the NFL didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me by not supporting Colin Kaepernick. It didn't surprise me that Colin Kaepernick's not working in the NFL anymore and won't. That doesn't surprise me. So, and then also, I don't see the end game. No one can explain to me the end game of the protest. What is it that, like, again, when those people marched on Selma, it was to gain voting rights or to have their voting rights recognized. When people boycotted the buses with Rosa Parks, it was to end segregation within the transportation system. There was an end goal. What is the end goal to the boycotting of the NFL? You think you're going to shut the NFL down? Because you're not going to force them to hire Colin Kaepernick. I think we've established that. So then what inevitably is the end goal to the protest? And maybe if somebody can explain that to me, maybe then I'll say, oh, okay, now I see your point. But for so many people now, it's become this whole thing where it makes you blacker than somebody else. Okay. I mean, that's fine with me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be the blackest dude on the block. You know what I mean? I know where I stand. I know where my mentality is. And again, I'll repeat it one more time. I don't have maybe I just don't have the same expectations from the NFL that a lot of you have. You know, I can't believe the NFL is employing all these black people and the product on the field is almost 70-something% black, but this is how they treat the force, the workforce? Yeah. I mean, and y'all still watching college football, which is a million times more exploitative than that. I tell y'all every season, man, I understand the hypocrisy in me watching college football. I hate the NCAA, but I love football. I understand it and I accept it. The same thing with the NFL. I understand the hypocrisy that lies within. But I also understand math and numbers. And I understand that your little piece of that 17% that you represent as fans mean nothing monetarily to the owners. This is why every time they have a lockout, they'll just come back and raise prices. Season ticket prices. Everybody who wanted a new stadium. Who was the last owner that wanted a new stadium and couldn't get one? And couldn't get public funding for it? They don't care. The TV deals, the checks have been cashed. The billions of dollars, those checks have been cashed. And by the time it's time to go back and get more checks, because they already dipping into streaming the stuff this weekend in London. I'm looking for the game. It's on Yahoo. They got stuff coming on Thursday that's going to be on Amazon Prime. They're not worried about your NFL boycott. And I'm sorry to break it to you, man. Actually, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I used to have this in college, man. We had this DB coach named Coach Roark, a country ass white boy. He say stuff like, look at him over there. It's like a firefly. He thinks he's lighting up the world, but really he's only just showing his ass. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you think you're making this big gesture and this big statement, but really you're not. There's nothing popping, man. There's really nothing popping that no one's even batting an eye at that you want to. You're not being paid attention to at all. And I know it sucks, man. I know it sucks, but that's who we are as black people in this country. 13%. That's including the people that's locked up. You know what I'm saying? 13% to 60 something for the white boys. We outnumbered like 3-1 or whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? So like I tell you all the time, man, your best move is, man, do the best you can for you and your fam, man. Like, be the best you can be. You know what I'm saying? And if everybody that's black does that, you know, we might be all right. You know what I'm saying? But this whole thing, the game is moving in a different direction than it was 40 years ago when Dr. Martin Luther King and these cats was doing their thing. It's moving in a whole different direction, man. And it's moving at warp speed. And cats are still trying to march in the streets and boycott stores and all that kind of stuff. Nah. No, my man. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to talk y'all into watching football, man. At all, man. I'm a firm believer, man, of people making their choices, man, and doing what they feel is best for them, man. As long as it's not hurting nobody else, do your thing, man. I feel that way about this. I feel that way about, like, religion, politics, whatever, man. Whatever floats your boat. Because at the end of the day, we all on the same journey, right? We trying to find happiness daily. So whatever the thing is that makes you happy and makes you feel better in life. Exactly. E-N effing joy. Damn right. You know what I mean? As long as it's not impeding on anybody else's ability to find that same happiness, man, I'm all about people just doing them, man. Because at the end of the day, you know what? You know what would be the best thing for me? To be wrong, man. To be wrong about this. And the people who are making the decisions to boycott football or do all these things, that does make a difference. You know what I mean? That would be the best thing for me, to be wrong about this. I just don't think I am. All right, man, that's going to do it, man. It's the One Mic with Big Mike show, the Monday edition. It's over. I don't know. I might enjoy this football game, depending on how it goes. Carson Palmer's my fantasy quarterback. He look like he's doing this thing a little bit. So, you know, it may be a good day for the kid. Who knows? We'll come back and do it again. Hump Day, man. Wednesday here on the One Mic with Big Mike show. Don't forget, my man, Alex not Alex Kaptoff. Golly, what is his name? My fantasy guy, man, from Sporting News is going to join me. I just had a brain fart. Is going to join me, man. You guys can get in on the conversation. Send me your fantasy football lineup questions at 404-902-8104. You can start that today. You can text them to me. You can tweet them to me at One Mic with Big Mike. However you want to do it, man. So we'll come back. We'll probably get some more out of this situation, man. This Donald Trump situation, and see where it goes, man. Big L, I am No Dose. Appreciate you guys, man. We'll come back and do it again on Wednesday, the One Mic with Big Mike show, man. Don't forget to tell your friends, man. Tell your friends, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app, tune in, OneMicWithBigMike.com, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. You can find me in all those outlets when I'm not here doing the thing live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to, in this case, 9 p.m. You guys take care, man. Take care of yourselves. Remember, all you need is one mic.